Welcome back to Retroactive, everybody. Now, on a previous episode, we talked about movies that never got a sequel that we'd love to see. But today, we wanted to take that just a little bit further and possibly in a different direction. We're talking about franchises that we would love to see either, reborn, rebooted, whatever you want to call it. Maybe a continuation of something that we love that maybe not never got to finish its storyline or something along those lines. We're kind of leaving the door open in that regard. So we want to go ahead and jump right in. Let's do roundtable here. We're going to start with Steven. Steven, tell us whichever, if you want to do series or movie, we're leaving it up to both for everybody, the option to do. And whichever one you want to start with, go right ahead.
Oh, man. Are we going to, if I start with one, are we all going to go through the one and then come back around?
Yeah, we'll come back around. Yeah.
Well, then let's start with TV.
Okay.
And just to be clear, I haven't given a lot of thought in terms of concept for this show, but it's something that's very near and dear to my heart, something that I think is very marketable, and something that is kind of would have almost more importance now than when it first came out, and that is Captain Planet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how much Captain Planet's been adopted by the current generation or the generation that's obsessed with like things from the 80s and 90s. I don't see too much stuff about it, but we're in a period of history where it's almost more dire situation to get people, kids, adults, whatever, more invested in what's going on with our planet. There's almost a consensus even amongst like the people that are like, oh, global warming is a hoax. Now they're like, well, it's real and we should do something about it. The message of that show was so ahead of its time. We need to bring that whole idea of like caring about the planet is cool again. The character himself, like from a character design standpoint, has always been kind of a weird one. But the cast of like teens, preteens, or whatever they were on the show, you could have a whole new generation of Planeteers, I think they were called.
Also very diverse too. I want to say for their time, like there was all different ethnicities and cultures representing kids.
Yep, and not just like a culture that's like a culture representative of an Americanized version of that culture.
Yeah,
they were an international coalition of unsupervised teens. It was really cool, and I remember having the rings when I was a kid, and the toys were really sick. And it's a little like, I will say, Captain Planet's a little bubblegum, probably for like a modern audience. But you could really paint a picture of something a little darker. I know Rick and Morty did a spoof on it, Planetina, and like all the kids are growing up and they're exploiting her for their own means, but they no longer have like, they're no longer idealistic teens. They're like, we just want money. So I think it'd be really neat. I think it could, I don't know who owns it, but it could be like a limited series or something. I think it'd be cool. I would really want it to be like traditional, like hand-drawn, like 2D animation, but we'd probably never get that. Yeah, I almost want, we've gotten so many iterations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think they're doing a new Street Sharks possibly. They're like kind of gauging interest in Street Sharks.
Yeah,
doing so many things from that era. Like let's bring the real Cap back, America's real ass. Let's bring him back, Captain America.
You have to have crossover with Magic School Bus. You gotta have.
See, that would be rad. That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. I said Captain America. I meant Captain Planet, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Magic School Bus, like Captain. Like we could hit at Captain Planet and Miss Frizzle having like a romantic past. I love that.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I was gonna say
layers, man. Layers, Brandon. Layers.
For the Magic School Bus, it made me think of the kid that always had the glasses and the frizzy hair. He's Arnold.
Or
Yeah,
I
he's
think it
like
was.
related to the kid that has the heart ring or something like that. Like they look
Yeah.
like they could be
Yeah, you're
dead out.
That
right.
plays.
I was gonna say,
That
Steve, I
plays.
think the hitch with the whole romantic thing is I'm pretty sure Miss Frizzle is a lesbian. Just throwing it out there.
Listen,
In real life, she is,
Captain Planet
but-
has that sheepdog energy that that's if Mr. Frizzle is even a little bisexual, I think Captain Planet's the kind of guy she would be with. Super conscientious, very respectful. Like it's the one. Like it's like okay, that makes sense to me. Also, his style, like, come on, come on. He's not watching the game on Sundays. He's antiquing. He's out
What
there.
are we
can't go
doing
down
right
the rabbit
now?
hole too much. Okay. All right.
You
Steven's
kick me
over
off
here
the show right
writing
now.
fan-
Kick me off the
you're
show.
writing fanfics over here, brother.
Listen,
Really?
they're only fanfics if you're not getting paid to do it.
Yeah,
Once they start paying me, they're no
Right,
longer fans.
you know?
Canon, canonical,
okay. That's fair.
canonical. Anyway, I'm working on a 200-page treatment
Yes.
for a Captain Planet, Miss Frizzle
Oh my god.
prequel romance.
This
This is
that would be
something right here.
the greatest worst novel I've ever read.
Netflix would order that to series in a heartbeat. Netflix is so irresponsible. They'd be like, that makes sense because it doesn't make sense.
They're like, we got $1 million to waste. Let's
What
do
would they call
this."
it? Magic Planet?
Magic Planet.
If you're for a guy that's being critical of this, you are certainly contributing a lot of great ideas.
I know.
Yeah.
I do think.
So it's really you're sending mixed signals, Brandon. You're sending mixed signals.
I'm very confused. That's why.
That's what I want. I
Let's
want you
hope
to be
Miss Frizzle
confused
is
because I
too.
want your heart to be open to
Well,
it. I don't want you to
you're
protect it.
succeeding.
Perfect.
Asplin, let's jump over to you. What would be your series pitch?
Since we're going with TV, we'll just keep that going. So I am probably one of the very few niche in this genre that actually enjoyed the movie of this because most people hated it, but I actually really liked it. Was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and it has an amazing comic run and everything like that. And I would love to see them translate that into a television series and kind of take more time with the characters and really get to see all of that play out and take from comic series and everything like that. So I think it would translate really well into a series on TV. I don't think I would trust Netflix to pick it up because they'd be like one season and done. So like
HBO.
yeah, I feel like HBO, yeah, you're right, Brandon, would do a really good job with it.
That was Andrew, but thank you.
This was Andrew.
Sorry. My bad.
I mean, it's not like it's your husband or anything.
Yeah.
We sound a lot alike.
It's to see them take all the different characters and everything like that and just really run with it, give them more backstory. I know most people were really disappointed in the way Mr. Hyde's character was portrayed, so maybe give that better legs and make that look better and just do it more justice for the fans. So I don't know. I just think that would be really cool. I will say, no matter how you feel about the movie, the character of Captain Nemo and the car and the submarine were fucking legit. Like, I don't care what anybody says. They looked amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, that's another one of those that, Steve and I talked on the last episode, you making me appreciate some of the stuff with, like, the John Carter thing. Like, you kind of done the same thing for me with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Now, I didn't hate the movie. I think I more disliked it because of how much it was always on television with FX. It was just always on FX, never not on that channel.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things I was tired of seeing it. But some of the set design, the model work that they did with that during that time was incredible, especially because there's some obviously some like CGI type stuff, but we were still of the era where they were trying to still do both. And it was like one of the last movies that they put more focus into model work than to just doing everything CGI. And that's why a lot of that stuff holds up a lot better than some other like early 2000s era like big budget movies and stuff like that, in my opinion. So
Yeah,
that's
the model is really cool on that film. They actually have here in Orlando, we have a car museum here, and they actually have the car from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is really freaking cool to see in real life.
Yeah, that one was cool. Probably the only reason to go to Deezerland, just saying. All right, Brandon, your idea for a series that needs, or a franchise series that needs to go.
So, they kind of already did it, and it just was terrible. So, I'd like to see it done and done better. But Heroes, the NBC show from like early 2000s. I really liked that show the first couple seasons, but they kind of fell off and they canceled it, and then they brought it back and it was terrible and they canceled it again. And now you can't even find what they rebooted back in like 2016, 17, 18, whenever that was, anywhere, because it was so bad that they scrapped it and try to pretend like it never happened. But we remember, and it did. But I'd like to see it brought back in its former glory, and maybe adapted by somebody that's not NBC, or have the rights leased over to someone like Netflix that can do a good job if they actually, put their nose to the grindstone, or maybe a reboot. I mean, it just, enough times passed. We remember Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, Hayden Panettiere, and some of the other actors that got their starts, or really what a lot of them are still known for. I don't see why we couldn't bring back the majority of the cast and try again, continue on, redo, and try to forget what happened with Reborn. But I think that there was still a lot of that story left to tell. If we're just counting the original series, they left it off on a hell of a cliffhanger and never revisited it. And then when they tried to revisit it in Reborn, they really didn't. They just kind of like killed off Claire, and that was it. It's like they tried to continue with a character that was not the main character, but a side character from the main character. It's like, it was a weird transition. I don't know if they just couldn't get Hayden for it and had to rewrite. It doesn't make sense, but I've never really read into what the full story was on that. But anyway, I think personally that would be a good one if it was rebooted. There's not many times you'll hear me say, "Oh, let's reboot a franchise, redo it from scratch." But I think if they did that one, they could do it better than the original, and really, really build a cool world around it if they did. But we'll never know. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But that's my pick.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one for sure. I'm one of those, like, I don't know the series that well. Correct me if I'm wrong. It only had one season of the original.
No, there was like 3 seasons.
Three seasons? Oh, okay.
3 or 4, I
was
think.
probably thinking of the reboot or the
reboot. Yeah, they couldn't go more than one. That was just no, they couldn't. Terrible.
I think she was Hayden Panettiere was going through some sort of substance program when Reborn was happening. I think there was some sort of like something going on.
Remember there was like a video of her in LA around that time, like dating like a really bad guy, and he like got in a fight at a restaurant, and there was
that checks out.
She's doing a lot better though. She's probably going to be in the next Scream. She was in Scream 5. I love Scream, so don't judge me for not knowing.
No, I'm not judging at all for that. I love Scream.
But she did a good job returning to Scream. So maybe that'd be kind of interesting if they could get her back for that.
Fair enough.
Wasn't she
kind of linchpin
on that show Nashville for the long time? Wasn't that her?
I think so.
Yeah, the like country music star one.
Yeah. It was Connie Nielsen was in it too.
Then because she's the Faith Hill character type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then for mine, probably comes as no real shock to most of my panelists here. My specific one that I'd want to do is Power Rangers. That's the one that I think, and not just, let's bring it back, because they finally ended the like 30-year run of all the different seasons and iterations and all that kind of stuff. Sorry. As far as like doing all that type of stuff, scrap that. Let's not like reset everything just to, you know, reboot it every 1 or 2 seasons like we were doing. Like, I think that there's been talk about a few different things. Netflix was working on something for a while, and now there's talk about that has fallen through, and there's talks of possibly Disney picking it up from Hasbro and things like that, because Hasbro owns the rights to Power Rangers. And so it's one of those things that I think needs a fresh take, but I think there's 2 different things you can do with this. I would kind of simultaneously like to see 2 different series play out. I'd like to see a live action series as well as an animated series. For the animated series, what I would want them to do specifically is the Shattered Grid storyline from the comics. It is such a well done story and such a very interesting take on the original Rangers team that really can only be done, in my opinion, in animation, especially because there's quite a bit more, like, if you want to say, like, adult themes and like things that happen to some of these characters that not really going to play out well with like a live action team, especially if they're wanting to keep them like age appropriate and things like that. It'll work better in animation, just in my opinion, as far as that goes, in the darkness of it, and just the sheer money that would have to go into it in order to do it in live action is just not feasible. So that would be that. And then you also at the same time could do a, you know, new live action series as well. Like maybe you do take that one a little bit more serious. I mean, it should be taken a bit more seriously than like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It can't be that campy anymore. It just can't. But at the same time, make sure it's still fun. We don't need it like a Zack Snyder version of Power Rangers or something like that. Like, as much as I loved that that fan film like short of like the dark adult Power Rangers that came out, like, I don't know, it was like 8 years ago or something like that. It might be this around that time that I think you can still find it on YouTube. That thing was very dark. Katie Sackhoff was actually in it, and that one was really well done. But that's something that you'll never see. You know, we talked on the last episode that like I wanted the 2017 Power Rangers to get a sequel and things like that, and that's probably as dark as they would ever get, is that version. And even then, it's still not that dark. But yeah, so that would be my thing. Is I just want them to let the Power Rangers like have life again, bring it back, that sort of thing. And I think there's multiple ways that you can make it happen, to kind of like cover multiple bases and give people options as far as what they want to engage in with this particular franchise. So, all right. Let's circle back to Steven. Now, what is your movie franchise pitch?
So Power Ranger. No, kidding. No, I like yours, Andrew. I like Power Rangers. Power Rangers are cool and fun and fun and cool. Ours were very merchandise conscious ideas. So as far as movie, there are a lot of ways that I thought about going with this, but I went back to like, what are like perfect movies that deserve that have like endless potential to spawn sequels and deserve something more. I've always thought Jaws is a perfect movie. Even if you don't like the concept of it, or you think the shark looks fake. Yeah, it looks fake, but it's still scary. Like, I would rather swim with a real shark than the mechanical shark from Jaws. It's frightening. It has a unique Jaws. Like, it's funny because like it doesn't look like any actual shark. It is, you can identify the Jaws shark just by like the toys and anything that's meant to represent that animatronic fish. So I picked Jaws. I actually really like I really like all 4 of the Jaws movies in their own way. Jaws 4 came out either on or near the day I was born. So So I have a particular fondness for that one, and it's terrible and it's ridiculous, and the shark looks awful. But you can go what's cool about Jaws 4 is you can still go to the to where it was filmed at Universal Studios in Hollywood. It's like there's a lot of cool things about the Jaws movies, and I know the idea of a new big creature film, it would make people groan like, oh, it's gonna look fake, and they're gonna do too much CGI and all this jazz. I want them to do a Jaws 5. I want a really young and hungry filmmaker to tackle the
Was
screenplay
that
and the
not
director.
Cruel Jaws?
What was that?
Was that not the movie Cruel Jaws?
It's not officially.
Not
I'm talking
officially.
about like a legit canonical. Wait, listen, Jaws. The what is canonical in Jaws is absolutely up to interpretation. Like some of the kids, some of Brody's kids are dead. Some of them might be more alive than others. Different jobs, different ages. It's all over the place. I want a really great young filmmaker to be given the directive of in-camera effects. In camera. If we can't do it in camera, it's not worth doing. What was really amazing about Jaws is we get those few like iconic full animatronic shark scenes that are so frightening, and then you get something that's seemingly been abandoned is that water level shot that they did in Jaws, and they had it in movies like Piranha, and they did the Orca one. If you leveraged like how the original Jaws was shot with a really great story, and we have seen a couple of like potential stories pop up. Like there was one where a coastal town gets flooded by a storm, so everyone's kind of like trying to avoid the flood, but there's a shark in the town, and they did it. They did it with an alligator. Yeah, and it was that story for Jaws had been bouncing around like screenwriting conceptual groups of people for years and years and years. Oh, this would be so cool. There are posters of it. Like a shark gets washed into town with a storm. But yeah, it would have to be like an animatronic, in-camera effects, young hungry director, no stunt casting, just really good actors to get me super excited for a new Jaws movie. And if you had to call it just Jaws and you had to go, you had to go back to the predictable and the safe, like they did with Halloween. That first Halloween, not first Halloween reboot, but the Halloween 2018 Halloween, that was pretty cool. Like it was a good movie. The next two weren't so great, but do something like that for Jaws. Something with a lot of in-camera effects. I think that would be really, really, really cool. Yeah, my antibiotics haven't started working yet, so I'm still a little foggy. But I would not want Spielberg to touch it. I wouldn't want him. Mm-hmm. I know it's his. Well, to say it's his baby is to discredit like the incredibly creative people that made that movie and solved all those problems. But yeah, it'd be Jaws, and I'd want it to be something shot on a very shoestring budget, like the new Godzilla. Not the one of the two competing new Godzilla movies, Godzilla -1. That movie was incredible, and it's basically Jaws right in the middle of it because they're out on the water hunting Godzilla, and it feels like Jaws, and it's what a modern Jaws movie could feel like, So yeah, it's Jaws for me.
Is that what
definitely
about Steven we're trying to channel?
What was that?
I was teasing about your beanie. I was like, it's giving off very much Jaws.
No, I just put it on because my hair looks bad because I'm sick. Well, my hair looks bad all the time, but while I'm sick, I can blame it on being sick. So, yeah. So right. Jaws and sickness, yes.
Jaws and sickness. Blame it on the Jaws. Ashlyn, your movie pitch.
Okay, so my movie pitch would be, my favorite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. I loved those movies. Yes, there are some problems with the second one. We're not going to pretend there's not. But there was always talk that he was supposed to get his third film to kind of round out that franchise and, fix some things that went wrong with the second one. And, so I'd just really like to see Andrew Garfield get that redemption story and kind of see where he's at now that he's moved on and he's getting past all the trauma of losing Gwen Stacy and just everything that they had prepared for it. I just want them to go dust that script off and bring it up to whatever it needs to be for the modern times now that it's been, God, what, like almost 10 years or something. So, and, you know, it was so great seeing him in the whatever one it was, No Way Home or whatever, having him pop up. And I know people will be like, but wasn't like the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, why aren't those your favorite? That's what you grew up with, because I'm from that era. And I do like them, but I think Tobey Maguire got a nice rounded out story and kind of got wrapped up. So I think Andrew Garfield deserves that this time. And I just really want to see the third one of that. And I know there's a lot of other people that do too. So hopefully, maybe, fingers crossed. We all know Sony's a mess, but maybe one day we'll get that story before he gets too old.
Yeah, unfortunately, with with the whole Sonyverse thing crashing and burning, that took another huge step backwards
Yeah.
from what it was in the last, like, I'd say 2 years of, like, talks and negotiations that have happened since No Way Home, specifically. And yeah, so that does seem less likely now. So
I saw a couple of very, very, very flimsy rumors that the concept the studio like was doing Andrew Garfield and Spider-Gwen with bringing oh my god, I can't remember her name. Academy Award winning
Emma Stone, sorry.
Yeah, yes, Emma Stone back to do it. Oh, or Gwen. I would love it if it was Gwenpool. Like, that'd be amazing. Like, I think she'd kill it. But I did see that, and that'd be an interesting way to. You're talking about him, like you mentioned him getting over the trauma of losing her. I think we saw that moment in No Way Home, like that healing moment.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then, yeah. So, but it would be cool to see him again. And don't ever be ashamed to not like the Raimi movies as much as people think you should. There's 1.5 good ones.
I don't know what it is. It's just like when we got Andrew, he genuinely felt like the whole package. He felt like when he was Peter Parker, I believed he was Peter Parker. When he was Spider-Man, I believed he was Spider-Man. Like, I feel like he was the best of both worlds. And he really played both parts really well.
Best actor to play Spider-Man, for sure.
Yeah. That is true. All right, Brandon, what do you got?
There's so many options for this, man, and it's so hard to pick one. I was racking my brains on so many various, Snyder and Tarantino movies that deserve sequels and just ones that I'd personally love to see too. But I'm gonna go, man, with one of my childhood favorites, and that's gonna be the Scooby-Doo live action. We never got a third movie. We got a second, but there's been such a long gap. I would love to see.
Good answer. Yeah, good answer.
There we go.
Do you crave that? Do you crave that affirmation now, Brandon? Do you crave the applause?
I guess it's. I don't know what to feel, but yeah, no, they're honestly, like, that. It would be so cool to see, instead of like Teenage Mystery Inc., an adult version, like just maybe even like the same characters. This is never going to happen, but like the same characters, same actors portraying them, which definitely won't ever happen because Matthew Lillard and Freddie Prinze Jr. hate each other. But
what?
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. But anyway, like if that ever were to happen, adult horror movie with all parties involved, everything, and call it Scooby-Doo 3 rated R. but that would be my dream, and it'll never happen. But I'd love to see something like that. But yeah, no, if nothing else, a proper third sequel where they're all grown up, and Scooby's an old man, an old dog, and Shaggy's an old man. Everybody's still their old goofy selves, but just grown up, and really cap it off. Make it a trilogy, do it right, make it fun, make it goofy, have the dumb fart jokes and the stupid humor that they had before. Just make it like they did before. There was rumors about this a long time ago, but it never happened. And now with as many reboots and things that people are so unhappy with Scooby-Doo and that Velma series nobody cared about, like there's room for this, and there is a wanting for it. And I feel like if people got it, they would go out to the movies and watch this. So however they do it, as long as they do it good, as long as they write a good story, I feel like that would be phenomenal. And I think it would do a lot of fan service for people who like me who grew up on that. So yeah, that's mine.
Does anyone remember the director that did them? Because they have such a specific style.
Yeah.
I think it's actually somebody that's done other things. Like I think it's somebody that went on to do.
I don't know the director, but if they were able to, I think we all know that James Gunn wrote for those. And so I think if anyone was able to make it happen, it would be him. Like if he was like, and honestly, he could come in and direct the thing. I think personally, like, especially with his experiences since doing the, writing for these films and the type of movies that he's directed, especially in recent years with the whole
Raja Gosnell in screenplay from James Gunn.
Yeah.
I think James Gunn could do the whole thing.
Yeah, I think if James Gunn was like, okay, here's my pitch, I think Warner Brothers would be like, yep, here's your money, but then it's a matter
of Lillard and Prince not killing each other on set. So
can you imagine? They're not quite this old. Can you imagine? It's like Mystery Inc. in the retirement home or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
That's the idea. The ideal is like all the principals back would be the ideal. All the principal actors back would be the ideal.
Oh yeah. That would be the goal, man. But
you don't.
Listen.
Otherwise, like as far as for that iteration, like if you're not getting the entire squad back, like then you do something else. In my opinion, like as great as it would be, like based off of like what James Gunn did writing wise with those first two movies, I do like the first one more than the second one, but but even the second one's not a terrible movie. It's just very different feeling than the first was.
Which is the one where they made Velma hot? I don't remember.
Second one.
I like this.
Yeah,
technically,
one's the best
one. Moment in the first movie because when she gets taken over by the creatures, she had like not wearing her glasses anymore and stuff.
I forgot there's real like ghosts and stuff in the movie. There's like real. Oh my gosh, I need to revisit these.
But the second one is where they put her in that latex outfit or whatever it is, like try and make her hot for Seth Green. Of all people, it's just so.
You got to put it on for Seth Green. That's Seth freaking Green, man.
Like on set, they're just like setting that up, and he's just like, "No one's buying this. What is happening right now?"
But we just talked about the fact that the woman who played Velma is Hawkeye's wife. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Cardellini is her name, and she's awesome, underrated actress.
She's done a lot of work.
She should have had a better. Honestly, she's one of like, if we ever did a show on like actors and actresses that probably should have had a better career based on their talent. She's extremely talented. She should have had a lot more opportunity. Yeah, but I like that idea. Good job.
Yeah, good answer.
Honestly, like, let's give it the R-rated. Like, do what they did for Wolverine. Get it R-rated.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, Freddie Prinze still has it, man. You see that one shot in the trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer?
It's if the dude can show up.
It's like that performance in this movie must be so awful. If the one line they pull for the trailer is him like delivering, like Keanu would cringe if he ever delivered a line as badly as that. It was so awful.
We
Really?
just
So
today right
awful.
before Ballerina, it came
Oh,
on. I was
man.
like, "Ugh, that delivery."
He's
man."
like, I don't even remember the
he
dialogue. It was
said
just
he said
shockingly
something to
bad.
the effect of, "This is not the first time there's been violence here," or something
This
like
has
that.
happened before. This has happened before.
Last
I know. I lived it.
Last
This has
summer.
happened. My God. And that's the dude that says that gives people shit about liking Star Wars when they're an adult.
My
That's the guy.
sister and I, if
What a
you've seen Scooby Doo 2, you'll know this reference. But
Mhm.
my sister and I will still quote, "I think Coolsville sucks."
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, his dialogues, man, are yeah. You're right.
Hey, listen, it's the perfect role for him. The
Yeah.
lovable idiot. He was born to play.
You're not wrong. That's
Well,
that's
Steve,
fair.
what's crazy to what you said is the original like scripts for James Gunn's first Scooby Doo was much more adult. Like I
Mhm.
wouldn't say it was R, but it was definitely like a hard PG-13. And there was like a whole bunch of stuff. They had to rewrite it multiple times and scale it way, way, way back. And of course, the version that they have is PG, and some things sneak through some adult humor type thing here and there, but it was like real heavy on the adult humor apparently originally.
That dude is just itching to perv things up. He's just like, can we throw in a dick joke? It's like, this is a PG movie, James. Make one dick joke. Come on. They can handle it. They can handle it.
We always joke that the whole like the Mary Jane thing. That's my favorite name. You
Yeah.
know?
It's like that to today's standards would have been PG-13.
Yeah.
Who is the actress that plays his girlfriend in the first one? Is she
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
No.
Was it Isla Fisher?
Yeah, it was that wasn't that like her first movie?
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Mary Jane, yeah. Definitely one of her first roles for sure.
Yeah, and she doesn't look like herself. Like she doesn't look like the actress we know. It's like
she's blonde and everything in that movie. So
like blonde, like beachy, wavy hair, like she looks nothing like herself.
So I'm rooting for you, Brandon. I'm hoping that Superman does well enough that James Gunn's still in power. And then I'm hoping I Know What You Did Last Summer is good so that they think Freddie Prinze is a bankable star.
Are they seriously redoing that?
Oh yeah, it's coming out this summer.
There's a trailer. We were making fun of an actual moment where he comes out and is like,
because they're getting
does the old man thing.
Oh my gosh, why? Okay.
Ashlyn, for some reason you keep clipping out, like your mic keeps going in and out. I don't know what's going on. But
your opinions are so good, the mic can't handle it.
What she was trying to say was they got Freddie Prinze back and Jennifer Love Hewitt back to pop in with a bunch of teenagers that are now dealing with the same thing. Oh no,
Speaking of like terrible lines, I thought she was good. Like I thought Jennifer Love Hewitt, like she's been in some things. I'm like, oh, she's not a bad actress. She was bad when she was younger, but she's kind of decent now. But when she goes, let me ask you one question. What did you do last summer? And it's like, it's so bad. And I'll go see it. I'll go see it because did Kevin Williamson write it? Did he write this one because the same guy that wrote the original Scream and the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, it's the same person. Kevin Williamson, the writer of Scream, is directing Scream 7. So he's directing it. I would love to see I'm gonna look that up, but oh my god.
So they made let me get this straight. So they started off with I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then the second one, was it not called I Still Know What You Did?
Yeah.
I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
In the Bahamas.
And now we're back again to I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yep.
So in 2028, are we gonna get I still know what you did last summer?
I definitely know what you did last summer.
Yeah, that's right.
I was gonna say we're just gonna jump to I'll always know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
Well, actually, don't tempt me with a good time because that's what this movie should have been.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. It's good. It's bad. It's bad good. Like it's like it makes no grammatically like in terms of like. Of course, you'll always know.
If they had done
that's dope.
They didn't do a third one back in the day, did they?
No. Oh, yes, they did actually. They did.
Okay.
It was original.
Whether it was the third or the fourth one, that's what they should have titled it, was something like that. But I'm gonna move along to
your movie.
Yeah.
What if I forgot what you did last summer? Can you remind me? I forgot.
So for mine, now I was having a hard time with this because, you know, we kind of talked about on the last episode, like, you know, reboot this, reboot that, and I'm not always for like rebooting everything. And honestly, for my pitch, if you will, I do think it would technically work better as a series, but since I wanted to make sure I specifically talked about Power Rangers for that, I'm gonna stick with the movie thing because it could work either way. But I would love for them to bring back Firefly. Is what I want them to do. I think that there is
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah. No,
think
that
there's
one
a-
really deserves it. I can't
there-
believe I didn't think of that.
there's a really good.
What's
I think there's-
Firefly? What's
You
that?
shut. No.
I'm sorry, Serenity is what I meant. You know.
Oh, I know that. Serenity? Yeah, oh, I've seen that movie. It's a
That
great
box
movie.
office blockbuster, sir.
I saw it 4 times.
But yeah, that is a franchise that deserves to come back. Like whether it is in a series form or in a movie or something like that. But if we weren't lucky enough to get an actual series, because I would be worried it would never. I want to say never, but hopefully never have the same issues that it had the first time around. But I would worry that it would like end on a cliffhanger and never get a second season, or, you know, whatever would possibly happen with a series type thing. Whereas if it's a movie, has a much better chance of having a more self-contained story. So that might be the safer bet. But, you know, Nathan Fillion, like he still looks great. He, you know, for his age, and I think him aging up a bit now, and like you can do the kind of the soft reboot thing where you, like, you know, the Jay and Silent Bob joke with the reboot movie where you bring in youth and diversity and stuff like that. Not that the cast didn't have diversity and stuff like that, but it's just one of those things. The only thing that would suck is not having Alan Tudyk in it. I think you'd have to find a way, even if he's just showing up as like a hologram or something like that. I don't know how you do it to where it's good and doesn't take away from what happened in the first movie. But it would feel kind of empty without him. But I think there's so many comics and there's books that have been done and stuff like that. But the Boom comics specifically have really carried on that storyline through the years and generations and stuff like that, because now I think they're dealing with like the kids of some of the crew and stuff like that. So if you wanted to incorporate a bit of that, like, you know, I feel bad because I'm losing my thread on like the character names, but Alan Tudyk's character and then his wife's character, like, they have a kid and she grows up on the ship and all this kind of stuff, and just kind of integrate some of that, but bring back this universe that never got its fair shake right off the bat, especially with the way this series was handled. And I was very late to it, but ever since I finally watched it. I've watched the series at least 3 or 4 times. I've watched the movie, umpteen times at this point. But that is definitely my pick for a franchise that more than deserves a new take, a fair shake. I don't want it to be completely rebooted. I definitely want them to bring back original cast, but I think you could do a soft reboot where you integrate newer cast and like younger cast and stuff like that as well, without losing sight of what Firefly really is. So that's my pitch. I want to do since we did pretty good on this one, I just want to do kind of a quick little last second thing. I want to throw in, so we've talked about movies that deserve sequels. We've talked about franchises that deserve to come back. I want real quick for everybody to come up with one franchise or movie or whatever that you think should never be rebooted. And don't say Star Wars because it's already
Power Rangers. Never Power Rangers and Firefly. I don't think either one of the.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in mine. Give y'all a chance to think about that for just a second. So movies that I think, or franchises that I think should never be rebooted, and this one's tough. I think there's a lot of people that probably would agree with what I'm going to say. There is an argument to be made that it could be done, but I personally don't want it to. Is Back to the Future. I I'm sure that there's things that could be done. I'm sure there's a modern take that could be done with this. But I personally love this franchise. Just got done rewatching it for who knows how many times now this week. Just on a whim was like, you know what? I really want to watch Back to the Future. And of course, if I watch one, I got to watch all three.
Yep.
That's just how it works. It's like
Even
watching
the Western boy. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
That's right.
The best one.
That's
the best of the three.
I know the third one gets a lot of hate, but I think that there are some redeeming qualities to the third movie. I really do.
Cowboys. What's wrong?
Yeehaw, dog.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. It's like I get that it's not, but here's the funny thing. Regardless of that whole situation, and Steven, I think you and I talked about this the other day. I think it's just the funniest thing that the three Back to the Future movies is essentially them remaking their own movie 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Time travel is his limited trope.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
We messed up the past.
Pulled that off. So they've already essentially rebooted themselves twice. So it's fine. Like that's why
I think they made unique enough stories in there to make it good standalones though. Like there's so many like horror movies, dude. This is gonna tie into mine, but horror movies in general have that running trend. Including I Know What You Did Last Summer. Where
2025.
It's there's only so much you can pull before you shoot Jason into outer space, you know? It's like it's just you can't.
Best one of the series.
Yeah, I think. That Jason.
Best one by a country mile.
I did enjoy it as bad as it is.
See, don't out me like that, Brandon, because now that you were brave enough to admit that, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's a fun movie.
It is. That was actually one of the first ones I ever saw. So I had backtracked 10 or 9 fucking movies to make sure that I was caught up to speed, and there wasn't much to catch up on.
Because there's a real meaty plot thread from Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah,
Jason X.
Yeah, you really got to know everything.
Yeah. I want to say, Andrew, question. You don't have to answer it. If Michael J. Fox wanted to do one, if he felt good enough, if he ever got into that, if he wanted to, would you accept whatever you got?
Accept it.
You're saying if he signed off on them doing a reboot?
No, if he wanted
if
to
he was
do
in
it.
it.
If he was in it,
Oh,
I want to do it.
That's different. I'm talking about. I'm saying this is a franchise I don't want to be rebooted. If it was a continuation with and Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd were involved, I'd be okay with that. I really would, because worst case scenario, like with all the different franchises that we've had, there's always things where people are like, yeah, I just don't count this one. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like, it happened, but it doesn't take away. Well, depending on your point of view, it doesn't take away from what happened before. It doesn't take away from the previous movies, things like that. So, as far as that version of it, yeah, I'd be okay with that. I just don't want them to do a full-on reboot, completely like the first 3 never existed type of thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but when you that term reboot has been so abused, and like soft reboot, partial reboot,
the better way to put it.
Remake, perfect. Yeah.
Then
I agree with you.
Let me rephrase
Absolutely
my
not.
question then for everybody. What do you think is a movie that should never be remade? Ashlyn, do you have one?
If we're putting it in those terms, OG Jurassic Park. Leave my damn movie alone. Do not watch it. That is a perfect film. Leave it alone.
Fair enough. All right. I think that's all she's got to say about that.
Well, you don't. Well, let me. I'm going to be a troublemaker on this one. Let me ask you this: if they did a truer to the books horror movie version of Jurassic Park, even that, like taking the fun, sucking the fun out of it, and just making it truly as terrifying as the books were, that wouldn't be an interesting thing to see. Like something that's genuinely like terrible, not terrible in quality, but like terrifying.
They'd have to call it something else. Just don't call it Jurassic Park. I don't know.
Jurassic X. It's Jurassic X.
In space.
Jurassic Planet.
Actually, listen.
Don't give them any more ideas with
where else are we going to go? They've taken over the world. Now we got to go Interstellar.
Jurassic Mars. Yeah.
We're sending Elon with the dinosaurs to Mars.
Yeah, let's send him. Let's get him off planet.
Oh,
He can go.
Steven, what would be your pick for a movie that should never be remade?
Easy, but it's 3 movies. They should never remake the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
That's done.
Wholeheartedly agree.
That's a done deal. The perfect versions exist, and if you're not watching the extended cut, are you really even watching the movies? If they wanted to, what?
He's speaking my language. He
stole
my answer. First off,
preach.
Listen, would it even be an episode that I was on
God.
if Brandon and I didn't connect at some point
That's
and
right.
passionately defend a
Amen.
shared love of something? If
I
they
will-
wanted to,
that seriously was my answer. I was gonna go with you.
Do you want to pick? Do you want to pick? I'll go.
No, I don't want you to pick. You hit the nail on the head. Keep going.
So,
End it.
so
You cook.
if in a decade, Peter Jackson got bored and was like,
No.
I'm going to use whatever amazing technology is down the road to add the 2 or 3 things that weren't in the movies that were from the books that we might have wanted to see, I might pay for a ticket to see 10 additional minutes. But the thing we have to consider is the complete and perfect experience that was delivered in spite of those few things. And the fact that there are hours of additional movie we've never seen that were shot when they made these movies. It's like just the sheer fact that it's been discussed in the last 3 years as a possibility, it pisses me off to no end. And it actually kind of makes me, in a sense, think, and I'm going to pay a compliment to Star Wars. It actually kind of seems like maybe Lucas knew the cravenness of studios and how, like, once they got the digital technology, they were going to start tinkering or want to do a new movie or want to remake something. Maybe the special editions weren't some, like, disgusting, manipulation of his thing, but he's like, well, if I'm going to stay ahead of it, I'm going to stay ahead of it. But the fact that we're discussing these movies, Fellowship of the Ring is a perfect movie, beginning to end. Effects, performance. You could say what you want to about a slight CGI degrade over Two Towers and Return of the King, and maybe because they were using a lot of it. But the Fellowship of the Ring is a perfect experience from beginning to end, perfectly acted, perfectly shot, perfect visual effects. Everything is amazing. And in that experience of those 3 movies is going to sustain itself for years and years and decades and decades and decades to come, if they can just stop fucking with the colors on the streaming and the home releases, because they are going to drive me bananas, because the color from a release to release of the movie is absolutely, like, wild. And Jacinia just texted me in all caps, Mr. Frodo ! From the other room. So remake the Hobbit movies if you really want something to remake. Go ahead and remake them.
No,
remake
those were perfect to me too. Sorry. Sorry. They were.
With I really like Thorin, how they characterized him.
Yeah,
I really liked him a lot. I would like it. I would like a single movie of the Hobbit. Let's let Topher Grace edit the Hobbit into one movie like he did. What did he do? What did Topher Grace edit that was really together? Was it the Hobbit? No, he did something, but yeah, he's apparently really good at that. But
so Brandon, do you have a backup one, or is that you're gonna go with that?
I just started writing down names, so can I do a quick fire?
Go for it.
Karate Kid, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Pulp Fiction, The Wizard of Oz, The Godfather, Shawshank Redemption, The Matrix, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Slaughterhouse.
Good answer.
But if I had to pick one of those, honestly,
You know-
because I've talked about it so much this week with other people, the fucking Harry Potter thing pisses me off to no degree. Like, I think that is the stupidest move. They had so much of that world to expand upon. They could have gone in any direction with that world, and instead they choose to reboot the whole thing. Like, I don't know. I get it. It's TV series. I think Nick Frost as Hagrid is a phenomenal casting choice.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
what the fuck are they doing?
HBO
That is so
horror series. HBO horror series.
It's
Not
still,
every
you know what?
a horror series.
No,
This
horror,
no,
like
no.
the
That's
horrors.
to me, Harry Potter is up in the league of Lord of the Rings, of Star Wars, and to me, it's those franchises you just can't touch. And the fact that they're doing that non-satirical is blasphemy. It could be great, it could be good, but the fact that they built that world in its entirety based off the books, and now they're basically redoing it for what reason? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like I'm so against it. I will see it just to mock it. I swear to God, I refuse to like that movie.
HBO, yes,
or HBO. I refuse to like the series. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Anybody yet? I think they did.
Oh,
they did. I after this weekend, I know for sure one. So yeah, they cast Snape, they casted the 3 kids, they casted Hagrid. I don't know about
there's a bunch of
I don't know about
John
Lithgow.
Lithgow
is Dumbledore. That's
they've got a good chunk of the cast done.
You could, if HBO was willing to pay for this show, if HBO was willing, what I was saying was do like a something else, do an original story, do like True Detective but with horrors. And I've been saying that for years. Do something like that. At least it's not.
They need to stop. No, to me, there's no if they could. Don't touch the characters. That's where I stand. Like,
I'm not even saying
that's my point of view. I get everybody's gonna have different one, but I'm very attached to that franchise where it's like, just how I grew up with it, the timing that I grew up with it. It's like that's when I feel like it's crossing all the lines for me.
I think you're misunderstanding Steven's point, Brandon.
I might have.
He's saying it has nothing to do with Harry Potter.
Nothing to do with Harry Potter. It's
just
in the world,
in the universe of it.
Yeah, then that was kind of my whole point with this starting off is like they had all of that universe to explore.
Exactly.
Why are we rebooting with characters that have already
I'm violently agreeing with you, Brandon. Violently agreeing with you.
Let's violently do this.
Are we allowed to spoil? Are we allowed to spoil epic stuff now? Are we allowed
I already know.
Ministry of the Magic ride? Are we? Well, no. I'm just saying in general.
Okay, let's
still too early.
Spoiler warning for anybody that doesn't want to know about the Ministry ride at Epic Universe. Okay, you've been warned. Go ahead.
I'll do it. How I totally agree with you, Brandon. How the hell are the theme park people understanding how to develop that world better than the creatives that are making the next generation of content? It's even though it's still utilizing the big 3 and Umbridge and stuff. That's such an interesting expansion of the movies. I don't want to steal your thunder about acting like I'm have as much love for the franchise as you do, but those movies are so well done. And it's like the same thing with Lord of the Rings. It's the same exact thing. It seems like you're throwing money trying to capture a small group of people. And admittedly, I have a couple of family members that are in this small group of people that this is for, that have always, since they were kids, hated the movies because the books they weren't perfectly following.
Yep.
And that's not a huge audience.
It's not.
That's not
the thing that upsets me about it is just the fact that you look at Star Wars and what do? You have your kids grow up watching maybe in whatever order, but at some point they go back to the original trilogy. They can't even incorporate that with this now. It's either going to be one or the other, or it's going to be all of it. It's going to confuse people. It just doesn't. It in no logical sense other than a money grab does not make sense for them to do. I'm so far. I can't be on.
I can touch on real quick since you guys brought up the whole Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter thing. I know that the whole Rings of Power gets a lot of hate, and it's not a very beloved series from a lot of diehard Lord of the Rings fans. But what I want to say in a little bit of a defense for it, I haven't watched the show. Just saying, at least they were. I don't know if smart enough is the right term, but to go in a different time period it's a prequel series type of thing that's set long before the events of the original 3 and or even the Hobbit and stuff like that.
It shouldn't offend people as much as it does. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. No, I agree, because it's something that's like they didn't offend the Lord of the Rings fan base. They offended their own fan base, because it's like the show sucked, but it didn't really affect anything in that world when you really think about it. It's like they're not taking canonical events and making them terrible, really. I mean, I guess in some stretch of the word they are, but it's not like,
but again, they're not remaking the.
Here's a perfect example. Okay, it's like Acolyte to Star Wars. Does it really affect everything else in Star Wars? I think Acolyte actually kind of does a little bit more, but Rings of Power doesn't really touch on that so much. It's not like, it's not changing, it's not adapting, they're not breaking new ground with new characters that really affect the series to a whole. It's just mid. Like
I had an argument with somebody about it, because I was like, oh, we get to see a couple of like things that have had like one line things from the book. We get to see how them play out, and that's kind of neat. And I was in an argument with this person who shall go unnamed, and they literally go, well, you know what I really can't stand? I'm like, what? It's like, and they proceeded to count. They're only supposed to be this many Ishtar, this many wizards. Because they said this, there's an additional wizard. Who is that wizard? And I'm like, I don't know who the wizard is, but I know who the overly obsessed idiot is. That's like, I have an additional wizard. Oof. And I'm like, and I don't really listen. I don't like to yuck people's yum. I'm way obsessed with a bunch of things too much.
Yeah.
But but the thing is, the show resolved it. Like, it was not, the show actually was aware that it was about to create a canonical inconsistency and resolved it. But these people are complaining about Galadriel, the mischaracterization of Galadriel. I'm like, ooh, everyone's favorite character, Galadriel. Like, you ruined the best character in the books and the movies. And it's like, no, they picked characters that either were not super beloved or they were really careful with their characterization. And it was clearly a different version of that beloved character than what is supposed to be in the movies. But just to like go back to the Harry Potter thing, like, have we all played Hogwarts Legacy?
That you were reading my mind. I was like, couldn't they have just taken the storyline from Hogwarts Legacy and made that the new series?
Or what Andrew actually mentioned something that his other idea for this topic today would also be perfect for that, finishing Newt's story.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just great movies. Great. Yeah. Like,
look, some people love or hate those, but I will give credit, absolute credit to the team that made those movies, and say that they tried something different, and some people liked it. I feel like the first movie went over a lot better than the other two, but the fact that they did that and built into that world, that's enough. That's enough for me. You get my praise. And even if it wasn't as well received as they had hoped, it's good. It's not fantastic, no pun intended, but it's good. Yeah. It doesn't have to be anything crazy good. It's enough to build onto the world, which is what we want. We don't need anything, it'd be nice to have something substantially beneficial to the world, but if we don't have that, it's better than rebooting.
Yeah.
It just is. So
well, guys, I think we're going to cap it there. I want to thank my panelists for joining me today. I think we had a lot of good points, a lot of good discussion with this. We want to also hear from you guys. Be sure to comment below with your thoughts on, series or movies that you would like to see from franchises, redone, rebooted, brought back, whatever version of that you guys would like to see. We want to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can follow for more content like this. You can follow me at Andrews Losing on all social media. Ashlyn, where can the people find you?
At BookBrat90 on all social media.
Brandon?
Venture Authentics on all socials.
And last but not least, Steven.
Probably a hospital if these antibiotics don't kick in soon.
Dang, dog. All right.
Bringing it down right to the very end.
I've been bringing it down since the day I was born. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna Killjoy from moment from the jump.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we will see you next time.